Moses is presented as one of the most significant figures in the Hebrew Scriptures. He stands out as an exemplary man of faith, humility, and obedience to Jehovah God. According to the witnesses' understanding, Moses' life course, as recorded primarily in the Bible books of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, was marked by his willingness to follow divine direction, courageously represent God's purposes, and shepherd an entire nation through daunting challenges. Moses was born into the tribe of Levi during a perilous time in Egypt's history, when the Israelites had fallen into oppressive slavery under Pharaoh. The witnesses believe that Moses' early life was nothing short of miraculous, from his rescue as an infant from the Nile River, to his upbringing in the Egyptian royal court, to the way his mother, Jochebed, instilled in him a love and respect for his true identity as one of Jehovah's people. Although raised among Egyptian nobility, Moses never forgot his heritage. He showed empathy for his fellow Israelites, and when he witnessed the harsh treatment of a Hebrew slave, Moses took decisive, though impulsive, action against an Egyptian taskmaster. This led to him fleeing for his life into the land of Midian. Jehovah's Witnesses emphasize that Moses' years in Midian were not wasted time, rather, it was a period of training and refinement. There, he married Zipporah, started a family, and served as a shepherd. From their perspective, this humble occupation and the solitary environment molded Moses into a patient, compassionate, and teachable servant, qualities he would need later on. When Jehovah spoke to him from the miraculous burning bush near Mount Horeb, Moses was not only ready to listen but had the humility to question his own qualifications. This attitude resonates strongly in witness teachings, which often highlight Moses' self-doubt. Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? Exodus chapter 3 verse 11 becomes a classic example of how Jehovah can strengthen and guide those who feel inadequate. The divine commission Moses received, to return to Egypt and deliver the Israelites from bondage, sets the stage for one of the most dramatic narratives in the Bible. Witnesses note that Moses was not a brash freedom fighter, instead, he was Jehovah's chosen prophet. They stress that all of Moses' subsequent actions, including confronting Pharaoh and invoking the 10 plagues, were done at God's direction. When Pharaoh resisted, Jehovah displayed his supreme power. The witnesses point out that Moses' faith and obedience were indispensable in these events. He approached Pharaoh time and again, demonstrating courage grounded not in human strength, but in reliance upon Jehovah's word. After the exodus from Egypt, Moses' role as a mediator takes center stage. He is seen as the channel through whom Jehovah communicated the law to the nation of Israel. At Mount Sinai, Moses received the 10 Commandments and many other detailed statutes and regulations that formed the Mosaic Law. Jehovah's Witnesses consider this covenantal arrangement critical for shaping Israel into a distinct and holy nation. Moses' recorded instructions, compiled in the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible, provide the foundation for understanding God's expectations and moral standards at that time. Witnesses consistently emphasize that Moses was not the author of these laws by his own wisdom but wrote under divine inspiration, thus preserving Jehovah's teachings for future generations. Moses also exemplified remarkable leadership qualities that Jehovah's Witnesses frequently highlight when drawing practical lessons from Scripture. While Moses wielded immense authority, he consistently gave glory to Jehovah rather than himself. He handled disputes among the people, guided them through crises, such as the lack of water or the discouraging report from 10 of the 12 spies, and interceded on their behalf when they sinned. One striking example that witnesses often point out is Moses' reaction when faced with rebellion. Rather than defending his personal position, he left matters in Jehovah's hands. Moreover, his meekness is underscored in Scripture. Numbers chapter 12 verse 3 describes Moses as, by far the meekest of all the men on the face of the earth. This humility, according to Jehovah's Witnesses, allowed him to be molded by Jehovah and effectively serve over a 40-year journey through a harsh wilderness. Jehovah's Witnesses also view Moses as a prophetic figure who prefigured Jesus Christ. While they do not consider Moses divine or on par with Jesus, they acknowledge that the scriptural parallel is clear. Moses was a mediator of the law covenant between Jehovah and Israel, whereas Jesus would later be the mediator of a far superior covenant. Both were deliverers of God's people. Moses delivered Israel from physical captivity in Egypt, and Jesus delivers mankind from sin and death. These parallels, frequently discussed in witness literature, help readers see the continuity of God's purpose and the progressive nature of divine revelation. In addition, Jehovah's Witnesses often point to Moses' end-of-life experiences as a testament to his enduring faith. He did not enter the Promised Land due to a momentary lapse, failing to give proper credit to Jehovah when miraculously providing water for the people. But he humbly accepted the consequence and remained loyal to God's will until the end. Witnesses find important lessons in this final chapter. Even faithful servants of God must maintain strict obedience and reverence. Moses' death on Mount Nebo and the fact that Jehovah himself took care of his burial location, Deuteronomy chapter 34 verses 5 to 6, show the deep respect Jehovah had for his loyal servant. Please share and like and please subscribe.